I will come to who benefits now, because we know that the river valley people are not given priority as far as benefits from that water reservoir is concerned. In all our Adivasi areas, I'm just coming from one of those villages where yesterday whole night we were in the Holi celebrations, but 9 hamlets out of 15 are left out of submergence at the top of the various hills in the Satpura mountain range, and 6 hamlets are affected. So they have not given rehabilitation to those who are in the upper parts. And even one bridge that they had to construct is not completed since 2005. When the water resource experts were brought in, they gave a report that are going to be affected. The people cannot approach. So every time the small boats, the canoes are to be used to reach out. Even yesterday night and today morning while coming, we had to use those. But one pregnant woman faced delivery while crossing the river once. One small girl died. All this has happened and we are continuously questioning, but that is, yes, we will complete it, yes, we will complete it, is only the promise given, not fulfilled. So as far as the rehabilitation part is concerned, displacement due to such dams of those communities which have been living since generations and saving the river since generations, including the aquatic wealth, including the natural resource wealth around. And it is wealth means it is not commodification that we are for, but it is a life supporting resource base. But they are not given the priority in benefiting. So what happens to the river? The river faces also pollution. Pollution due to various effluents from the industrial estates flowing, like in Narmada. It flows from the Pithampur estate, which is about 100 kilometers away, into a river Ajnar, a tributary of another tributary Karam, and then to Narmada. And that has polluted the water. The sewage treatment plants are missing from Jabalpur, near the origin of the river, till Badwani, which is the last major city where I am sitting now. No sewage treatment plant is completed, in spite of the fact that they have taken hundreds for each plant from various international financial institutions. Now, this is horrible. And that's why the sewage is without treatment flowing into the river. And there is also illegal sand mining. Illegal because the Supreme Court judgment of 27th February 2012, NGT, National Green Tribunal's judgments and orders to every chief secretary in every state in 2013, all of that clearly brings in that the mining cannot be legal unless it is sought permission for, and that permission is to be based on the environment impact assessment up to 50 hectares by the state level authority, CR, and beyond that, the MOEF, the central ministry. But even in Narmada Valley, as one example I'm giving, while the same situation is in Tapi, the situation is in Godavari, the situation is in Krishna, and many, many rivers, including in the state of Kerala. And all these illegal things we had to raise before the court. I pleaded the case, got the stay orders in my hands, and still the mafias clearly come and say that hame uppar se aashirwad hai. We are getting blessings from the top, so you can't do anything. Although they run away, they attack us, they attacked our office once, so on and so true. So point is, even the inorganic farming also is throwing chemicals into the river. So these 3-4 sources of pollution are not taken care of. And when the dam is built and the water is not flowing, obviously the pollution increases. And what does the Pollution Control Board, which has become the political control board, doing? They only bring out the reports, but don't take proper action. So whether the dams are really the real solution to water supply issues uh, related to the drought prone areas, first of all, uh, we say no, because what is happening as far as the distributive justice issue is concerned, that also needs to be looked into. This dam was constructed mainly for Kutch district, occupying 24% of total area of Gujarat state. But there is hardly micro canal network built in Kutch. And hence, except one taluka, Rapar, almost rest of the so-called command area, that is the beneficiary area, is left deprived of. And the water has gone to some cities in Kutch, but also the three main cities in Gujarat, Ahmedabad, Gandhinagar, and Baroda, which was not in the original plan of the government of Gujarat itself. And 450 companies, according to a reply sought by one of the environmentalist activists under RTI, I have benefited out of this, and Coca-Cola factory has benefited the most. So point is that in case of such kind of centralized water management, the distributive justice is not coming up. And those who have the financial capital are given much priority, much respect, and all benefits. And those who are the ones who have saved the river and put in their human resource capital, they have put in their natural resource capital, their land, their forest, everything of theirs, even the mother river of those communities is taken away. But they are not given the due respect and the space for planning or implementation and also evaluation. So we feel that the big dams as the paradigm needs to be completely reviewed. And this is what we had the World Commission on Dams. I was also one of the commissioners. And this commission really had 12 commissioners. I was representing the movements, but there were others, 2, 3 women who were representing the NGOs working on the issues. And there was representative of the World Bank and also of the companies who have built many large dams. But what came through? The unanimous report says that big dam is not the real solution, because although they bring in some benefits, no doubt about it, it may be multi-purpose dams, so bringing in hydropower and irrigation waters, etc. But that has more cost to be paid than the benefits. And that is why even the USA declared a moratorium on construction of big dams since 1994. When I met the chief of that board in the US, Daniel Beard, he clearly said that, Madam, we have not declared moratorium only to save a salmon fish as we are alleged of. We have done the full economic cost benefit analysis and come to a conclusion that it is better to make the rivers flow freely, and especially the big rivers, and not building big dams. Even the European countries have decommissioned together more than 4,000 dams. So not only Ganga ko, but har nadi ko aviral behne do, nadi ko nirmal rehne do. That should be our position. Otherwise, the pollution in Ganges, pollution in almost every river. In Narmada also, I have at least 4 or 5 test reports done from a popular, very authentic laboratory. And the test shows that the water is unpotable, non-potable, not fit for human consumption. So people puja karte hain, naman karte hain, par manan nahi karte hain. So many parikrama walk over months, uh, uh, but they cannot walk on the bank of the river in most of the places. So they walk through the concrete jungles of cities and buildings. So that also has really affected the heritage, which was meant for bringing the humanity closer to the nature. Exactly the opposite is happening. And when our constitution clearly says in the article 48A that the agriculture, horticulture, of course, but also protection and improvement of environment and safeguarding of forests and wildlife is the state is duty bound. Although it is a directive principle and hence it is not justiciable. Constitution says that the state is duty bound to bring in laws based on these principles, but this principle is not followed. It is therefore necessary that we go to the uh, real alternatives, and that is specially needed because today the whole world is facing climate change. Now that climate change is also because of playing havoc with the natural resources, whether it is mining of coal or any other. Even the sand mining is affecting the rivers because the subsurface water cycle gets affected. Many common people may be thinking that, oh, if the sand is taken away, गड्ढा बनेगा, उसमें पानी भरेगा. ऐसा नहीं होता है. The Yamuna has faced the same, and Narmada is also facing it. Drought-like situation in the summer months. And yet, when there is a huge reservoir seen or a big dam built, immediately everyone eyes on that water resource and they want to take over. So 70 links have now planned taking the water from the Narmada to various districts in Madhya Pradesh. But what will happen as a result of that? Even now in the summer, the nearest city of Badwani gets water many times once in 3 days. And the water is already polluted and the irrigation gets affected. And still they are planning such things only for the vote banks. So the node banks and vote banks really affect and influence the development paradigm, planning, and the specific projects.